An online conspiracy theory has found momentum in the real world.
QAnon, which essentially believes the entirety of the Democratic Party and much of Hollywood are conspiring and running an underground pedophile sex trafficking ring.
Also in the crowd last night, people who believe in the QAnon conspiracy theory.
It's no longer an isolated thing. Take a look. The sign with a Q on it stands for QAnon.
History is being made. You are the saviors of mankind. Nothing will stop what is coming. Nothing. Q. November 30th, 2018. Why do the Clintons remain in control of many still in power? Blackmail. The Clinton family is working overtime. Panic in DC. Nothing can stop what is coming. Nothing. December 2nd, 2018, Q links a status showing the French protests that were still going on and still going on now in France. This video in Toulouse, France, of a group of French police officers removing their helmets to show solidarity with the French people. Nothing can stop what is coming. Nothing. History books. Q. April 11th, 2019. If we are merely a LARP asking questions on the chance, why are we being attacked daily by some of the world's biggest media companies? Social media companies deliberately applying censorship, banning, shills being paid and inserted to disrupt, think media matters, blue checkmark, coordinated attacks, etc. All for a conspiracy? On the chance? All for a LARP? Why is there a constant flow of disinformation being pushed re-Q? Example. Disinformation push Mueller is a white hat, false and fake narrative. And if you remember early on, this is something that they tried to push, that Q was saying that Mueller's a good guy and he's working with Trump, which was never said. Although he might as well have been, because his report turned up garbage. But what his report did do was distract the public. The name of the game is to keep everyone's eyes off what's really happening, off the things that Donald Trump is actually doing in office, which is a lot of good. They can't let you see how much could have been done by these previous presidents. So the Mueller investigation was a total bomb that wasted everyone's time and kept them in fear of Donald Trump, that he's a Russian agent, which is pretty ridiculous, considering the only ones who consistently turn up with ties to the former USSR are deep state plants like Clinton and Biden and Kerry and Romney, etc. But he continues, think blockade. When you can't attack the information directly, you attack the source. If that fails, you create false, misleading information to discredit knowing, select, unaware followers who would not take the time to self-corroborate the claims. The same vehicle and tactics that are used by the fake news media. And what this is saying is that you muddy the waters with false and misleading information that people are going to see instantly and be like, all right, so that Q stuff is garbage. All right, and then they don't have to check it out. And then they could free themselves of, I wonder if this is real. It's gone. All right, it's garbage. Like one I bring up a lot is that they always try to tie to JFK Jr. They believe JFK Jr. is alive. Now, people have taken this in the past as me saying that I believe that that's crap. I think it's a pretty cool theory. I think it's a really fun theory. I don't think it's so out of the realm of possibility that he could have faked his own death. He was friends with Trump. It's very possible if he did fake his own death that he is working with him behind the scenes. However, Q has never stated this. And that's the point I was trying to make. So to tie that to QAnon is misleading information. Q was asked one time if JFK Jr. was alive, and he said no, unfortunately. But the fake news will never show you that post. They will only say, they believe JFK Jr. is alive. In fact, there was a Rolling Stone article that said that we believe JFK is alive, his father, which is completely false, misleading information. That's completely false. But, Rolling Stone. So people, oh my God, these guys think JFK is alive. The guy was literally shot on camera. There was another tweet by Mr. Gorker after the one I talked about in my last video, where he cites a picture that says, if Q wasn't real, Trump would tell you. Think logically. There is a 0% chance Trump would allow his base to be taken by someone out of his control. It would take 1 minute and one tweet to save his base from a massive conspiracy-driven lie. And he writes, typical garbage Q thinking. Real Donald Trump hasn't declared that unicorns don't exist either. Or lizard people. I suppose that means they exist too. Well, guess what? Lizard people and unicorns haven't been tagging at real Donald Trump in 1,000 tweets a day for 3 years. Okay? I'm not necessarily going in on Sebastian Gorka. This is 2 posts in a row, and he, like I said, he's had others in the past. He might not know. Or he might be trying to start the conversation. Like I said, a lot of people like him. But this is a disinformation tweet. And there's so much more. The fake news literally never shuts up about Q. It says, logical thinking always wins. Nothing can stop what is coming. As the targets turn to the other side, the attacks will intensify. We have the source. Now, we have the source, I believe, means that, they have the Anthony Weiner's laptop with all the questionable things on it about Hillary Clinton. It says it ties her to crimes against children and the whole nine. I believe it also means that they have the hard drive that was given to Julian Assange to post onto WikiLeaks. April 24th, 2019, Q links Sun Q sues status. It says, I knew the fake news would attempt to connect the militia leader who was arrested on the border with QAnon. Sure enough, they try to do it indirectly via the group he is a part of, United Constitutionalist Patriots. The charge, the UCP discusses QAnon. Well, everyone on the right discusses QAnon for one way or the other. And here it is, FBI arrests far-right militia leader detaining migrants at gunpoint. If you look down here, the UCP has a radio show that discusses QAnon, and it's suggested that Ilhan Omar is trying to impose Sharia law. Just more slander by the fake news. You attack those you fear the most. Nothing can stop what is coming. Nothing. July 12, 2019, Q links Tegan Goddard status, blue check mark. How QAnon makes people miserable. Maybe you guys make people miserable. QAnon's the most hopeful, awesome thing that's ever happened in the last 30 years. Vice, one of the most disheartening signs of our advancing hell world are the thousands of people. Hell world, yeah, you guys have created a hell world. Man, that is the most lucid thought right there. Vice, oh my God. And this guy should try a little harder, because nothing can stop what is coming. Nothing. July 25th, 2019, Q links an article that shows how this lawmaker who was asking about Jeffrey Epstein's work release when he was first locked up was told to back off, showing how the powers that be were protecting Jeffrey Epstein. Big surprise. And now Jeffrey Epstein is dead, suicided, neutralized, whatever you want to call it, because nothing can stop what is coming. Nothing. November 13th, 2019, Q links this letter sent by Senator Grassley, who, by the way, holds the current record for the longest streak of not missing a vote in the United States. This is the guy that cares. This is a true patriot right here in the Senate. And this is a letter that he wrote on July 20th of 2017 to Rod Rosenstein, detailing how Alexander Chalupa was actively working with the DNC and the Ukrainian government to try and tie Donald Trump and really Paul Manafort, and Donald Trump by proxy, to Russia. So this started long before he was in office. And it goes through all the different details and all the meetings and who was involved. And it is pretty damning. Chalupa was absolutely working on behalf of a foreign government to interfere with the United States elections. The exact thing they ironically tried to get Donald Trump on with Russia. And if you remember, Ukraine was one of the 3 biggest countries in the USSR: Ukraine, Russia, and Kazakhstan. So who has ties to the USSR? And Q states, read carefully. Reread carefully. It's laid out very well. I mean, there's no way to refute that Chalupa and others were working with the DNC on behalf of Ukraine to interfere with our elections. It's just a matter of fact. It says spy insert, EC known. Reread drops, re-spy insert. What do these people have in common? Pelosi's son, Kerry's son, Romney's son, Biden's son. Hint, geolocation Ukraine. They all work for energy companies and the Ukraine. Hint, energy. Coincidence? When George Soros calls, Democrats always answer. Nothing can stop what is coming. Nothing. D-Class COC. It says declassification of chain of command. But one thing that I thought was interesting, it could just be a coincidence. When I Googled D-Class COC, this came up. Department of the Navy, which they abbreviate to DON, and Declassification Plan, December 20th, 2004. Now, if you go to the purpose, it says, this plan sets forth the actions of the Department of Navy, DON, for compliance with Section 3.3 of Executive Order 12958, as amended. this plan, a living document, will be updated as necessary, or at least once every year, to ensure the protection of classified national security information and to support a commitment to open government and the free flow of information. The plan pertains to all classified Don records determined under federal law to have permanent historical value wherever they may be stored. And I just thought this was interesting because, first of all, they're referring to it as Don, and the plan, as they call it, is a commitment to open government and free flow of information. What have we been getting from the Don? And this plan that QAnon has is free flow of information. So I just thought that was a little interesting that this came up. But anyway, moving on. It says POTUS goes to Barr. Barr to Durham, which is working on the Durham report. Durham is another one who is involved in Q Team, in my opinion. Has F in the kill box. Classified intel provided. 5 eyes, non 5 eyes as needed. I'm not 100% sure what that means. But it continues. Does Durham want to hold, freeze, public declass due to criminal nature of the probes? Think grand jury material. When did the investigations begin? When did the investigation really begin? So they've been going at this for a lot longer than we've been aware. And then it continues. Nothing can stop what is coming. Nothing. Slow drip over flood. And if you think about it, ever since Donald Trump has been in the White House, just things have been just even leaking out, not even just from the Q drops, just all of a sudden there's pictures of Obama being leaked, there's pictures of this, all this stuff just slowly dripping out to the public, more so than ever in history. And that's another reason why Obama was able to fly so under the radar. Everyone, they all patted themselves on the back. Oh, first black president. Yeah, we're so hip. And then they went back to their lives and ignored everything this guy did. We really all did, because nothing would ever really come out of Washington. Nothing was ever leaking out. And he was able to just do whatever he wanted. But now things come out every day, every single day. Which brings us to today's Q drops. Now, there had been a little bit of a gap. February 26th was the last one. And now today, March 9th. And Q links this, where Dan Scavino linked this tweet. My next piece is called Nothing Can Stop What Is Coming. Holy freaking crap, all right? Now, Q Holba told us in this drop from December 22nd that Scavino was at the very least involved. I'm not sure. I kind of take this as he's Q. And here's a meme. When you finish typing, just sign a Q+. Now, Dan Scavino is one of Trump's boys. He was the general manager of Trump's golf course in Westchester. He has been the director of social media for Trump since 2015, and he is the longest serving aide in the Trump administration. And another interesting tidbit about Dan Scavino is that in the Do It Q, one of the first great Q proofs, where Trump posted this picture, and when you went to save it, the file name was Do It Q. I mean, come on, how much more proof you need? Dan Scavino is the only one inside the Q. So I feel like it's at least possible that he's Q. And the president, as we know, is Q+. So obviously, Dan Scavino, the head of social media for the Trump administration, dropping basically a Q post saying nothing can stop what is coming is absolutely huge. If you go to the Q post, he took it even a step further and posted this, which is a little confusing at first, but I'll go through it here. Now, if you go first to Scavino's original tweet on mine, which is Eastern Standard Time, it says 12:09 a.m., March 8th. If you go back to this, it's 11:09 p.m. So that means this person was in Central Time who posted this screen grab. Now, the Anon who posted this screen grab on Acun, it comes in at 21:27, at 9:27. So that means this post is in Pacific Time, 9:27, which on the East Coast would be 12:27. And it says, come on, Q+, please retweet Dan on this one. And if you go back to this, 12:27 to 6:18 is 17 hours and 15 minutes. So Donald Trump, who we know is Q+, retweeted the greatest freaking Q proof in the history of mankind exactly 17 hours after he was X'd to. Nothing can stop what is coming. Nothing. Rig for red. Now, rig for red is what they do on a submarine when they dive to periscope depth, which means stealth. They're getting ready. They're under the water. No one can see them, but they could still see the enemy. Q post 3892. It links President Trump's status. The Obama-Biden administration is the most corrupt administration in the history of our country. Absolutely. And then he states, silent running is a tactic used when? Well, Silent Running is a post-apocalyptic sci-fi film where all plant life on Earth has been extinct. So they had saved all types of plant life in these spaceships, which were orbiting out around Saturn, waiting for the Earth to reforest itself so then they could bring it all back. So basically, I believe this is saying that they've been waiting, trying to wait and regroup for this nightmare, which to them is a nightmare, Donald Trump, to be over so they could come back into power, the Biden administration, the Obama-Biden administration, basically saying, you will be getting Obama. This Obama will be the president again. Biden's absolutely incompetent. You will be getting Obama and Hillary and the whole nine will be back in because they've been waiting, orbiting around Saturn, which is ironic because there's all these ties to the cult of Saturn and Black Cube worship and all that tied to these people and their occult ways, saying that they're waiting, silent running, they're waiting to come back. That's all they've been trying to bide the time while this whirlwind, which is the Trump administration and Patriots and the Q operation, have been trying to tear this whole garbage apart and rip it out. But it ain't going to work because nothing can stop what's coming. Nothing. Because this isn't just the United States waking itself. You know, in the American Revolution, the colonies freed themselves from the English crown. But now the whole world is freeing itself from the English crown. Even the people of England, slowly but surely. That is, in my eyes, England is ground zero for the New World Order or whatever you want to call it. But the Great Awakening is worldwide. And this is a thread by Rainbow Fairy. And what do you find at the end of the rainbow? Gold. And this thread is absolute gold. He made a thread with all the different Anons worldwide, not just from Trump rallies, but all the different references. Here's where Mike Pence was with military with a Q patch on. Here's just from the other day, India, where a guy was holding the Where We Go, One We Go All sign. Here's a hotel in Belgium, Merry Qmas. Here's a sign in Barcelona, QAnon. Here are Anons in Egypt in front of one of the pyramids, QAnon, Where We Go, One We Go All. Here's a group of students at Cal Poly University, Q+. Little nod to the president there. Here's, the American Revolution posting these signs. It's so cool. Here's another one she posted outside the Bean, the Great Awakening, Q. Chicago, I believe, is one of the ground zeros. Chicago and LA, I think, are the two epicenters of the New World Order in America, for what it's worth, too. Here in Finland, Finland loves QAnon. Here's outside of Guantanamo Bay, we are Q. Where we go one, we go all. Here's the Netherlands, outside The Hague, Q. Why is this relevant? Enjoy the show, QAnon. And if you remember the Yellow Vest, there was tons of Q stuff in the Yellow Vest riots. Here's a few from Iran. Restart loves Q. Thanks, Q. Restart will make Iran great again. Make Iran great. I love it. Together we are strong. This is worldwide. Here's another one from Iran. Here's in the Jeddah airport in Saudi Arabia. QAnon. Here's right in Jersey City. I wonder where this is. I'd love to go to this. It's probably taken down already. Where we go one, we go all. Yeah, baby. Here's Kuala Lumpur. QAnon. Here's from the Netherlands. Sheep no more. Dark to light. Q. The world is about to change. Here's South Korea. The Great Awakening. More in South Korea with Q signs. Where we go one, we go all. Wow, there's many in South Korea. Look at this. And here's at the South Pole. Q, where we go one, we go all. Now, unfortunately, right after this was posted, there was an article that came out that said 2 people were killed at the South Pole. And here's someone taking a picture. People, hopefully that's not who that was. Here's the United Kingdom. Q, please. Like I said again, that is ground zero to the United Kingdom. This is funny. He goes, these are Italian Anons. He said, that's actually an Irish flag. The Irish flag is almost exactly the same as the Italian flag, which is ironic because I'm Irish and Italian. It's almost, one's orange and the Italian flag is red. But here's some Irish Anons in England. And good old Washington, D.C. I see Q people. So the Great Awakening is worldwide, but according to the MSM, it's just a person in their basement. Yeah, a person in their basement who simply asks questions on a forum that generates continued thousands and thousands of MSM attack articles and a worldwide movement. Yeah, it's just someone in their basement. Okay. Logical thinking. Logical thinking would suggest that this is not. No one in there just LARPing in their basement could ever keep this up for as long as they could, or have this much information, or have this much access to. There's so many government documents and so much absolute gold that has been shared on here. Straight up information you would never have access to. Back channels are important when the news itself is untrustworthy, controlled. Where we go one, we go all. Absolutely, because in the end, God wins.